So last video I talked about the modifications that the ECU Flash brought to this bike. Today you're actually gonna come with me on the ride and we're gonna go and see how the bike changed after the ECU Flash and if it's for you or not. Let's go find out. All right, my people, let's go and do this. It's a beautiful day out here. Oh, they're getting crazy here today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're having a good time. I'm having a good time. You saw that outfit the girl had? She's like a mini Pikachu. Super cute. I'm trying out with these new cameras today. Let's see what happens. If it's nice, I'll keep it. If it's not, I'll get rid of it. You guys let me know, man. I'm making this all for you. I love this bike. I have a great time on her. I ride this thing every day, but these videos are really for you and for your entertainment. So everything that you guys tell me, I'm all ears. I'm trying to make it better and better. So make sure you subscribe now and don't miss out on any of the progress, man. Be a part of the journey. Subscribe right now, don't miss out. And let's have a great time out here. But like I was saying, I got a ton of subscribers, a lot of comments from you guys about actually asking if you should flash your ECU or not. And I was about to mention our buddy The Sun Rides here, who rides a beautiful red Ninja 400, and he was talking about flashing his ECU, but according to him, he actually heard of some people having troubles with the ECU flashes, like engine problems and such. I thought that was weird, but I'll let you guys know that I haven't had any problems with this bike at all, and especially not with the ECU flash. Actually, I'll take it back. If you watched the last video, there's a few quirks on this bike. Right now the horn is working, but sometimes if I'm riding above 9,000 feet in elevation and I just gained, like I went from sea level this weekend. I'll make sure to put a little bit of footage here for you guys. I went up to a big mountain, a high mountain here with my girlfriend. And when we got up the mountain, man, first of all, it started raining. So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but the horn stopped working. So I don't know if it was the pressure of going from sea level to the highest mountain in one day. Also, how humid it was. I don't know what it was, but I got up there for the first time and the horn just wasn't working. I don't know why, but now she's back to normal. No complaints here. But you see a lot of riders out here today because it is a nice day. Well, let's get back to the ECU flash talk. Look, I'm not one to get crazy and commit, you know, felony speeds on these videos because I'm in a foreign country and I respect them a lot. And you guys know that, you've been following for a while. But the throttle on this bike has been completely different now after the ECU flash. I mean, this bike just became a whole new monster. It is absolutely ridiculous how amazing and responsive this throttle is right now. She is, if you watch that Suzuki GS 1100E, the fastest bike in the world in 1982, that beautiful machine that I was lucky to ride. I love that bike. And one of the things that I noticed with that bike is that the throttle is just immediate. The throttle response is immediate on that bike. And it wasn't the same with my bike. My bike was from stock, from factory. This bike was neutered, for a lack of a better word. Her throttle was just not as responsive, because if you gave it the beans, if you fully opened the bike, she just, you know, she would give like 60% of power to you sometimes. 80% on a nice RPM range. It was rare that the bike was actually fully open to 100%. So right now I flashed the ECU and I changed that, and now the bike is just fully responsive at all times, and it just rides like a different monster. It's a completely different beast, especially when you're opening her up on the highway, long stretch of road, and you're the high RPM range above 8,000 RPM. The bike just becomes a whole different monster, man. It is absolutely ridiculous. Violent acceleration, brutal, man. Can't even describe it to you guys. It feels like you just get this roller coaster on your hands, and it's just immediate power. It's ridiculous. I'm in 4th gear. Some of you guys tell me that, oh man, you gotta switch up to a higher gear here. Why do you ride in such low gears all the time, and you're complaining about the gas problem, blah blah blah. I like riding my bike in higher RPMs. I like having that immediate throttle, or the immediate power to me, available to me, especially on the highways, when something can come up and I can easily open her up and pass whatever I need to pass. Not to mention that I love the sound of the bike. I actually have a question for you guys. So when I went to flash the ECU on this bike, I put her on the dyno, or my mechanic put her on the dyno, and after the flash with the slip-on, no other modifications except for that ECU flash, I got about 125 horsepower to the wheel. I expected around 130, 135 horsepower to the wheel. Okay, that's what I thought I was gonna be getting. But I went out and I looked at some of the results from other 1000SX riders that only had a slip-on or even the stock exhaust. And a lot of you guys actually had about the same result, 120 horsepower to the wheel with no other mods. And I have seen some of you guys get over 140 something horsepower to the wheel with a full exhaust and a nice air intake. So a different, in other words, a performance filter, right? So my question for you is, if I am to get a full-on exhaust, right, with headers. In fact, I would like to keep the slip-on that I have, so just the headers, and keeping the slip-on that I have. What's the best option out there? Do you happen to know? If you do know, comment down below, because it's big help to me. So if you happen to know the best exhaust that I can get, the best exhaust that money can buy for this bike, let me know down below. And I'm also very curious about the filter, the air filter for this bike. Have you upgraded your air filter on your 2020 or newer 1000SX? And what kind of dyno results did you get on your bike? Super interested in finding out I'm super interested in finding out what the results for you guys were. I went up there, the dealership had some of the coolest little bikes that you can think of, man. Those bikes were awesome. I saw this like highly modified Honda Monkey out there, and the bike was just super cool. I'll make sure to put a little video here for you guys and the lineup that I saw in that dealership. They had a couple ZH2s, I believe, on that dealership. They also had a couple of H2SX up in there. Yeah, man. And another modification that the ECU brought, another one of my favorite mods that the ECU Flash brought, was the fact that now the bike is less jerky. So I let go of the throttle, there's less of that bumping you forward, that engine deceleration, that engine braking is a little more subtle, which is nice when you're doing actually to me is nice in almost every occasion. I did like having that engine braking when I'm going down hills. It helps a little bit, right? Save the brakes, but what's cheaper? Another gearbox or new brakes, right? I just changed the brakes on this bike anyways. And you see all these cars parked here, guys. They're all for this. Look, there's some tea plantation right here. And all these cars parked right here, they're here for this pineapple cake factory that's down there. They do some tours for pineapple cakes. Can you imagine? Like, I've been to wine tours in California, I've been to some whiskey tours in Tennessee, but I've never done a pineapple cake tour outside of Taiwan. Come out here, guys, come out here, let's ride together, man. Let me know if you guys are ever coming out to Taiwan, because the people here are amazing. They're gonna love you, they're gonna treat you like family. Oh, I just love the sound on this bike, man, just revving for no reason. Oh, just causing havoc out here in these streets. And if you guys see, this is actually all pineapple plantations. Super fresh pineapple plantations. Very delicious pineapple. This whole little like township here is all about the pineapples. They have this famous pineapple cake store up there. Maybe look, pineapple for sale right there. We'll see if I do a little stop and show you guys. We'll do a little bit of a vlogging style kind of video today. But I'll tell you guys, going back to not committing felonies on video, I don't like to ride too crazy out here, but what a beautiful day. Riding this bike just makes me feel like I'm lucky to be alive, lucky to have you guys watching these videos. It is a blessing to have you here. I appreciate you all, man, and I get some of the best subscribers out here. You guys are always recommending some other safety modifications for me, and you know, let me tell you, man, a lot of people read your comments, not only me, other people read your comments too, and it helps them make a decision on their bikes, and it helps them become safer. One of the reasons why I started this channel is because I would like to build a safer community of riders, right? We can all help each other. This is a high school, man, with all like pineapple plantations up front. Imagine what it's like going to school out here in Taiwan. How different is that from where you came from, right? People from all kinds of walks of this life. All pineapples, man, all pineapples. Imagine how delicious they are. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could describe it to you. Not only that, but look at all the tea plantations out here. All these, they look like palm trees, but I think these are like pinglan trees. They call it pinglan. It's a little drug that grows on these trees, and they chew them, and it's like a stimulant. It makes you, it's kind of like caffeine actually. It's highly addictive. These little betel nuts, I think they're called betel nuts in English. I've never tried them. I'm not very interested in trying them, to be honest with you, but I know people that do chew them all the time. But tropical country, I love coming to the mountains. You guys know that. For some of you that know me, I'm a mountaineer. I've been mountaineering all over the US for several years, all over the world as a matter of fact. Here in Taiwan as well. The city you see down there is called Nantou, if you can see it. Nantou, coming from Taichung. Nantou is another big city. Let me slow down right here. There's always people hiking over here. I think there's a hiking trail down here. See, there we go, someone walking there. good people coming out to smell the fresh air of the mountains. Random leaves. Plenty of passing power. There's no moment in my life on this bike that I'm like, yo, I need more passing power, man. This is all tea plantations right here. Mostly green tea, red tea, black tea, oolong tea. They got mountain tea as well, but not here. Altitude is too low here, but if you ever come to Taiwan, you ought to try their mountain teas here because they're of the highest quality and absolutely tasty. I'm a coffee person, to be honest with you guys. I never loved tea until I got here. And then when I got here, I realized how amazing this tea is. Had to stop and get myself a little coconut water. It's been a 2-hour ride. And would you trade your beautiful 1000 SX for one of these gold wings? Maybe 40 years from now, why not? There's a BMW right here, adventure bike. I think we got a ZX-10 right there with the stock exhaust, beautiful bike as well, mostly gold wings. I think that's like an Indian, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that's like a Rebel. But we got scooters up in here. Big CC scooters, but yeah, man, these things look beautiful. Oh, we also got a H2SX here with the Pioneers in the back. That's a beautiful bike right here. It looks like one of like the newer ones, man. Yeah, that's one of the newer ones. This thing looks mean. Jesus Christ. Big bike. That's actually a ZX6. Thought it was a ZX-10 before, but looks to be brand new as well. Look how shiny that thing is. Absolutely gorgeous bikes out here in Taiwan, man. They got it all, as you can tell. We also just had this little girl pull in with the ZX-10 right here. All the dudes had like their mouth open. Like, oh man, this small girl, she can barely hold the bike up, and she was riding this thing. That bike is probably fast with her. Easiest way to lose 50 pounds on a bike, change the rider. Let's continue down. Got that coconut water, man. Stay hydrated, my people. Well, look at the McLaren. I saw this McLaren riding by earlier. Yeah, this road is famous out here. I got some subscribers from Taiwan that says how famous this road is. In fact, I've ridden here many times and there is never a single weekend that I didn't see a cop out here. There's police here every single weekend, man, because dudes be getting way crazy on these roads. This is a long stretch of road that goes from basically Nantou to Taichung, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong out there, my Taiwanese people. But people get super crazy here in these roads, man. Especially the scooters, bro. I'll be honest with you guys. Some people have like expensive bikes, but they don't want to rack $1 million in their Taiwan money, which is about 30 grand in US dollars for some of these kind of bikes. I don't know a lot of people that are trying to rack them, but I do know a lot of people who ride scooters here, and dude, they push them to their limits, man. I've seen them on these roads, like leaning the scooters like they're super sports, you know, like they're MotoGP riders. Yeah, it's like the funniest thing to see, because you just don't see that often in the US, right? Like maybe in Chicago or some of these cities that, even New York City now is getting a big like scooter moped culture, but they've been had that here, and they modified them to the brim. They get them, man. They get them going. You should also check out this other video where I took this bike on some twisty mountain roads. It's gonna be right up here, man. Stay healthy, people.